Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. We're back in the actual Kingdoms world this time. Last episode, we kind of took a look at the new snapshot. I am not in the new snapshot anymore. I'm in 1.12 again, because as we found, there were some things that didn't really work so well, so I'm not going to be updating to snapshots just yet. One thing I want to do right away at the beginning of the episode before I forget for a third time in the row is I want to take care of some comments and questions of the day. So I skipped one on episode 25, I skipped it again on episode 26, and I'm remembering today all three of these are very kind of short questions and don't require a lot of discussion. And today, we're actually going to be starting a new kingdom, and I'm very excited for this, and I hope you guys are as well. And it's a little bit of a walk, so I figured we'd kind of take the walk together so you guys kind of know where it is in relation to Bullstone. And on the way, we can kind of address these comments and questions and stuff. And eventually, we will actually create a road that connects these up in the overworld. But let's start with the episode 25 comment, which says, an iron farm would go well with a dwarven backstory. And that's from Jake Reed. And I've had a lot of people say, you should build a dwarven kingdom. And I think there probably will be a dwarven kingdom in Kingdoms eventually. But I did a dwarven base for Hermitcraft Season 4. And honestly, like, I don't want to do the same thing again right away. Like, I think I need to wait a while before I do a dwarven something again, or at least any sort of like large scale dwarven project. I think when you put two projects that are similar to each other too close together, like in time, like you do two very similar projects too quickly, you know, in the same build style and everything, I think it's not as good from like an entertainment perspective. Like, I don't think there would certainly be some people, I think, who would say, we just kind of watched this. You're just basically doing what you already did. And then the other thing, too, is like, I would get burned out because I just did that. You know, part of the excitement of Minecraft and the thing, part of the thing that helps keep me interested in Minecraft is trying to do different things, build in different styles and come up with different stories and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, not going to be doing a dwarven base or a dwarven kingdom or a dwarven iron farm, for that matter, anytime soon, but maybe someday we'll go back to the dwarven style. So let's jump into episode 26, and this one is from Puncake, and it says, "Hey Wells, I was just wondering, why haven't you made a big castle in any of your kingdoms like you did on Hermitcraft?" And a castle, believe it or not, this is not the same story as the last comment. Honestly, there haven't really been any kingdoms yet in Kingdoms that have really lent themselves to a castle. I don't think a small village or something would really, I don't think a castle would really fit there. It would seem like very out of place, at least to me. So the biggest reason is there just hasn't really been a good kingdom to build a castle in yet. I'm sure there will be castles in Kingdoms eventually, but not right now. There aren't any at the moment. Not any proper castles. There is like the Jarl's Longhouse, which is big enough to be a castle. It's about the size of the keep in Hermitcraft. There are some, you know, there's like the cathedral, which is fairly large as well in Solus, but nothing really that's big enough to be a castle. Although you could argue that the city of Regnum is a castle, like the whole thing. Kind of. It depends on your definition of a castle, but that's a story for another day. So finally, let's jump into the final comment, and this is the one for today's video, and says, this is from Paul Solis, who says, why didn't you check out the debug stick when we were looking at the snapshot last episode? And the reason was, yes, I knew of the debug stick's existence. For those of you who don't know what it is, basically it's kind of like the wrench from modded Minecraft. It lets you... it's an item you can get through the use of commands. That's basically a stick that you can click on things, and it will rotate through their block states. So essentially, it means it's like a stick that can rotate pistons and stairs and terracotta blocks and all that kind of stuff. And it's very, very cool. But the reason I didn't take a look at it was because I was really only looking at the survival features in the snapshot. And as far as I know, it's not possible to get the debug stick in survival without the use of commands. Although, I will say, I am open to the idea of being able to get one somehow. Like, if you guys are okay with it, I would be fine with maybe coming up with like some sort of a challenge or something to earn the debug stick so that we can use it, because it would be super useful for building, like placing stairs, terracotta blocks, all that kind of stuff. It lets you rotate through those block states, and it would be very helpful for that. But the only way to get it is through commands, and I was only taking a look at the survival features in the snapshot. So here we are, the site of the new kingdom. Yes, my friends, that is a jungle. And we are going to be building a kingdom in the jungle. I have to admit, I've gotten a little bit inspired. As some of you know, I do have a second channel, which you can find a link to in the description. But I recently did a series on the second channel on a strategy game called Total War Warhammer. Total War Warhammer 2 specifically, although I have played the first one extensively as well. And basically, there's a race within the Total War Warhammer 2 game called the Lizard Men, and they're lizard men. But they have kind of like this sort of Aztec Mayan vibe feel going on, and I kind of wanted to do something like that in Kingdoms. Try and come up with maybe like a sort of like an Aztec-y, Mayan-y, I don't know if those are words, but they are now, sort of thing. I'm thinking like stone temples with like kind of the pyramid. I've always called them ziggurats, but I've heard people say that that's not the proper term, that they're technically called something else. But like those kind of pyramids with like the steps leading up them, and some of that kind of stuff. Now, it's going to be interesting trying to do this. And we're going to have to find a decent location, and there's going to be a lot of clearing involved because it's a jungle, so we will need to clear some space to work with. But if we can do this, like if we can pull this off, I think it's going to be a really cool kingdom. And as far as the resources go, we're going to have to come up with a block palette as well. So, yeah, I'm thinking here, I mean, obviously we're going to want to build in the jungle itself, with jungly stuff. So we'll probably want to use jungle wood. Obviously stone and stone brick for the pyramids, along with mossy cobble and mossy stone brick. And then it's interesting, I was doing a little bit of research into Mayan and Aztec homes, like what their houses were like in history. And there's a lot of, I've seen a lot of like different things, like, sometimes they were built out of mud with a straw roof. Sometimes they were adobe. Sometimes they were bricks. Sometimes they were stone. Sometimes, it seemed like it was kind of one of those situations where it was like, hey, whatever they had on hand, that's kind of what they made houses out of. But then again, I haven't really found a lot of like pictures or anything like that. So I may just kind of take some creative liberties, and rather than trying to make it historically accurate, maybe we'll try and do something that's a little bit more kind of Aztec fantasy, which is really, I don't know what that even means, but it should be interesting. Now, we're going to find, we want to try and find a decent location. And the road, when we ultimately build it, if you follow this coastline leads all the way back to Bullstone. It's a distance. It's quite a way. It kind of goes out of the way. But Bullstone is basically like right across this lake. Like if I were to fly straight this way, you'd almost see it coming into distance like any minute now. It's like kind of right over here somewhere. Like over these islands. And then, is that it right there? Yep, there it is. See, there's Bullstone right there. So essentially, it's right across the lake. I don't want to make like a giant bridge or something. I think that would look kind of stupid. But we will make a path that kind of goes all the way along the coast and sort of wraps around and into the jungle. And the question is, where do we want our entrance to be? So we're going to have to kind of figure that out a little bit, because the road's going to wrap along here. It'll probably kind of cut through this, probably go like along this little bit and maybe around through here. So I'm thinking we will enter the jungle right about here, actually, wouldn't be bad. Kind of, we'd end up terraforming this a little bit, but like this would be kind of our entrance. We'd have a bridge right here of some sort, and this would be kind of where we would, where the jungle would start. Oh, tell me I brought a bed. I didn't bring a bed. Oh, man. All right, are there any sheep around? I may just have to fly home. I don't see any sheep. Ah, that was stupid. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, guys, I am back, and obviously I slept. I need to start kind of making a little bit of a pathway here, and I think that's kind of where I want to start. More just to kind of mark out the entrance than to actually make like a proper road. And I'm not going to build the road back to Bullstone right now, because that's going to be a fairly long project and kind of a grindy one, and to be honest, it just doesn't really sound like that much fun right now. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try and kind of make a little bit of just a simple pathway. I've got a little bit of coarse dirt, nothing fancy. We're just going to kind of like dig out some of this. Let's put coarse dirt into our offhand. Ooh, here we go. And we'll just kind of go sort of like this, and just kind of mark out a little bit of a dirt pathway, kind of going this way, and then I'm thinking it would kind of wrap through here. Might as well grab the grass, could come in handy at some point. And then it would kind of come around like so, and then back, you know, it's something like this. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's not gonna just be coarse dirt when it's all said and done. But the big thing is I just kind of want to get something here right now. Just something real simple. Mostly to just mark out the entrance so that when I'm flying around, I can see the coarse dirt and go, oh, hey, this is where it was. Because otherwise, it could actually be really hard to find this again. This little entrance way to the jungle. But I'm thinking this is going to be kind of the spot right here. And then the road will probably swing back kind of around here. And I think I'll just like end the road right about here for now. This is fine. It doesn't need to go super far. As I said, it's really just kind of about marking out the entrance to the jungle so that I know where I'm actually supposed to be going. And we'll just kind of leave it at that for now. You know, eventually later it will be a much nicer road that's a lot more detailed and with, you know, things along it to light it up and all that kind of stuff. But for now, coarse dirt's fine. This'll do. Okay, so next thing is we need to start figuring out where we're going to start building structures. And I think what we should do, let's fly way, way up into the sky. And let's just kind of see, yeah, we got so much space. There's actually already a jungle temple here. The problem with building jungles in general is that it's so hard to figure out what the terrain looks like underneath. It's so hard to get a feel for it. Because everywhere you look, there's stuff. There's just leaves and foliage and vegetation like everywhere. So let's kind of think about this. I think I want that road to be relatively straight. Not completely, but relatively straight. So that's going to start here. And it'll kind of wrap around. And then I think heading over this way feels right. How much space do we have over here? We got a little bit. I mean, I think what we could maybe do, I'm kind of thinking, where was that jungle temple at? Right here. I'm kind of thinking maybe we start here at the jungle temple, and then we'll end up kind of building in that direction towards the west, and that'll keep us away from the plains over there. And I don't want to see the plains everywhere, because that'll just kind of ruin the immersion. But I think this is kind of a good, like, starting spot to sort of set up shop, so to speak. You know, throw down some chests and crafting benches and, you know, all that kind of stuff. That could be good. It looks like I have explored this. So, hi. Hello, witch. I'm poisoned. Okay. Where did you spawn? In here, maybe? I mean, it's certainly dark enough in here. That might be where the witch spawned. I don't know. I mean, obviously, if we're gonna live in here for a little bit, we don't want to be. Break that tripwire. We don't want stuff spawning in here. That would be bad. Dude, the poison effect lasts for an eternity. Might have spawned back here as well, or over here or something. I don't know. I have no idea where that witch came from, or over here. That's probably where it was. Anyway, we'll just kind of light that up a little bit. There we go. Poison's finally gone. And now, let's see if we can figure this out. So, starting at the Jungle Temple, and we said we want to be building west, which is this way. So, let's kind of try and clear a little bit of land over here. I mean, this is going to be super grindy, and this is going to be something that I'm definitely going to want to use shears for eventually. But for starters, we'll just kind of do a little bit of this. We can clear a tiny bit of it together, I think. But I think we want to get rid of the foliage on the ground first. And we know that this was west, so we can take that off now. Just kind of clear out some of these leaves and things, and then I'll just let a lot of it just, you know, despawn naturally. Or decay, or whatever you want to call it. The thing that happens to the leaves. Despawn, decay, same difference. You get the idea. We'll do maybe something like this. Am I missing? I mean, the problem is I don't know if they'll naturally start doing their thing just because there's so much of it. I don't know how much of this we actually have to break in order for the foliage to start going away. What we can do, though, and what we should do... Whoa. Oh, I jumped through the hole in the stairs. I'm gonna have to fix that. But what we should do first, let's just sleep. Let's take a nap. That'll set our spawn as well. And then we'll be in a better spot. And this way was west. So I'm just going to knock a hole out like right here. Because this temple is going to disappear. It's going to go away. It's not going to be here for very long. But it is going to be a good place to just kind of set up some chests and temporary things. So we can... you know, make a home here for a little while. Okay, that all seems pretty good. We'll let some of this kind of clear out as well. And then I think what we should do is we should kind of think a little bit about how we're going to build the houses and, you know, what style they're going to be in. I mean... historically, they you know, as I said earlier, it seems like there was a variety of different materials that they used, that, you know, Aztec and Mayans used for their homes. One thing that was very common was straw or thatch roofs. That's a really hard thing to do in vanilla Minecraft, thatch and straw. I've found a couple, like, okay ways to do it in the past, with hay bales, but they don't come in slabs and stairs. So what you end up doing is, like, yeah, it becomes a real nightmare to do. Let's just put it that way. And it also requires a massive quantity of hay bales. And I don't think we really want to tackle a thatch roof in vanilla right now. Maybe at some point, if they add slabs and stairs for hay bales, then absolutely. Then I'm all for it. But at present, not so much. Okay, so let's do this. Let's make a crafting bench. Like so. I'm gonna put it here. We can probably... Oof, I really need to patch that hole. That's not... I've already fallen through this far too many times. So there we go. Let's do that. And then let's just see. Do we need to get up here for any reason? I don't think so. We can just clear all this out. or at least a good chunk of it. I don't think there's any reason to keep these areas right here. So let's just clear this stuff. Get it out of here so we have a little bit of breathing room. And so that it doesn't look so messed up. We'll just kind of do a little bit of this. There we go. Lovely. Okay. So, we should also probably throw down some chests and things. Let's finish getting this out of the way. There we go. Grab all these. We're probably going to need those, especially the mossy cobble. Probably need that stuff at some point. But let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 32. That's enough for 4 chests, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, come to think of it, let's throw some torches down on this upper level just so we don't have stuff spawning in here trying to kill us. There we go. That'll do. It's torch spammy, but, you know, whatever. And let's also go like that. And like that. And like that. There we go. So this is now our one exit, and we'll make it a little bit bigger. That's fine. This'll work. This is our exit to the house right now. It's not much to look at, but don't worry. We'll, as I said, this whole thing is probably going to get torn down eventually. So now that we have a little bit of inventory space, let's do this. Let's throw down our ender chest right there. I could have sworn I brought another shulker box with me. Did I leave it over? I have a feeling I left a shulker box. Because I had 2. I had one of them that had a bunch of, like, spruce logs and stuff like that. Oh boy. Fly. We've done it. We've done it. We're geniuses. We're going east. We need to check and see. Did I leave a shulker box over here? Because I think I did. I totally did. Whew. At least I was able to figure it out now and not, like, and I didn't realize it a while from now, because then I would have had no idea. Okay. Let's see. Where's this jungle temple? There it is. We'll be fine. Let's just land ever so gracefully. All right. Shulker box here. Shulker box here. So we got sand, gravel, or we got gravel, a couple other types of wood, and then this is all stone for now. And I think we are probably done with the elytra for a bit. So let's just try a couple things here. Let's make some stone brick. Let's make some regular stone. Let's grab some cobblestone. And let's just try like a simple house design. It's gonna be really hard to do that in this space, but maybe we can make this work. So let's go like here. Let's see. Have an interior of 3, 4. Let's go here. Let's just make a simple little box for now. And we'll kind of build that up like so. And if we were to do like an Aztec fantasy house, how would we do that? Maybe what we would do, let's make some stone or some cobblestone stairs. What if this house had a staircase kind of coming up like that, right in the middle of the house, right? Like, what if every house was kind of like one of those, like, Aztec pyramids, right? Except some, I mean, they wouldn't all be super, super big. Some of them would be much smaller than others. Go away. And then maybe up here we would do stone, like so. And then maybe we'd go up like this. And then let's grab a little bit of jungle wood here. That's cutting into an oak tree now, but that's fine. And maybe we grab a little bit of jungle wood like this. I think this branch has to go, even though I do kind of like it. But I think I'm going to cut it out for now. And let's just make some jungle wood slabs, right? And what I'm thinking is like right here, this would be a slab level and kind of maybe coming out a little bit, and we'll probably end up doing kind of like a messier roof. And by the way, I have not planned this in advance in creative, like at all. I'm making this up on the spot. So, you know, if this turns out looking super weird, that's why. You have been warned. This may be like the worst thing I've ever built in my life, but we're gonna try and see if we can come up with something that's actually like sort of decent here. I think any leaves that are down at this level need to go. Kind of bring that over as well. Bring it out. Can you get up that staircase? You can. Okay, good. And then I think like here, you can get under it too. Even better. Let's maybe go there. I need more jungle wood already. Man, that got used quick. Okay. Another small tree. This one's pretty small. I mostly just don't want to commit to chopping down a giant jungle wood tree on camera because they're huge and it takes a little while. I mean, I suppose I could cut it out, but whatever. There we go. So we're good. We're also getting cocoa beans. I'm probably going to end up using brown concrete in the path. So that's actually a good thing for us. Okay, so let's try... Again, I know I'm making a second crafting bench, which is horribly wasteful, but it's fine. All right, let's try this. So let's go maybe up here. We'll break... Oh, I actually can't. But we could do this instead. So let's go kind of make like a little L shape, like right there and here. I'm gonna break some of these and we'll go kind of up like so. We'll make, I fell. I don't have any, I have no ender pearls. Okay. Let's go like this. Boop, 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 boop. Something like that, right? And then we'll probably want to mess it up a little bit. So we'll kind of add a little bit of randomness to it. You know, maybe we lower this one down a little bit. Maybe we bring that one out, or, you know, just kind of whatever. Just sort of add a little bit of randomness and variation into a couple different spots, just so it's not all like completely the same. Just kind of wherever we can, right? Just whatever. It doesn't matter how we do it exactly, just something. So we do something kind of like this, and then we'd probably put like a torch here, 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 and here. And this would maybe be kind of the start of one of the houses. I think there's definitely some changes that I see that I would make. Like right here, for example, this would kind of come up a little bit more to give us more of a rounded feel. Like if these are going to be raised anyway, we'd probably want to raise them here. But, you know, just something along these lines. And then maybe back here, we could do, I mean, you could almost come out like so, and have like a little balcony type deal, right? Maybe we come here, break these leaves, get rid of that, and go boop, boop, boop. I messed that one up, but that's fine. We can fix that in a little bit. You know, but like right here, for example, I'm gonna put one. We'll just put a torch there. That's fine. You know, but something like this could work. And then this would be like a little balcony. And you could even do like a jungle wood slab railing, perhaps. you know, or however. It doesn't really make a difference. I mean, it's just a matter of trying to do what we can to dress it up a little bit. But something kind of like this looks really bad right now, especially since there's this block right here that somehow got misplaced. I know this looks pretty bad at the moment, but I have confidence that with a little love and with a little bit more detail and time and stuff, I think it could be kind of a cool concept, especially once we get a bunch of them and once we start mixing in some like mossy cobble and mossy stone brick and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think it could be really cool. We just need to kind of get in there and do some work, and we're gonna have to clear a lot of land and stuff like that. But it's something like this. I mean, maybe it might be easier to kind of showcase it in creative mode, but a little bit later now. Maybe a little too late for that now. But I think you guys kind of get the idea of what I'm trying to do in my brain. Like, maybe this makes sense to you. If it doesn't, let me know, and I'll try to explain it a little bit better. Maybe by going into like my creative testing world and showing you there. But you know, something along these lines, I think, could be a really cool and really fun kingdom to do. Sort of like an Aztec kingdom where we're taking a little bit of creative liberty with the style of the houses, but then we would still have some like really kind of very important buildings like the ziggurats, the pyramids and temples and you know, all that kind of stuff. I think it could be really cool. But let me know what you guys think. Unfortunately, guys, I am out of time for this episode, so I do have to end this one right here. My friends, if you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Links in the description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, my friends, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.